77. Was good. Thanks for the like. How's everybody doing? Give y'all a minute to get up in here. It's like 58 degrees right now. But you know, Fred, Fast Eddie VH was good. Is it VH or? Yeah. Fast Eddie VH was good. Was good. Got 4 people in the building. That's what's up. How you doing? Marcia T was good. I'm gonna have to do a StreamYard soon so I can get some people on. BN was good. What was it? How y'all doing this morning? Sunshine was good. About to get that deep freezer so I can order my meats. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah. It's good shit. Go in here and get that meat. Any of my mods, if y'all can post my Discord. I forgot to put the Discord in. Like, these videos take so long to render, I forget the posting that I say I'm gonna post, like links to articles and all that shit. Yeah, it's all good. If you download Discord, yeah, I'll make sure I put it in the fucking, if one of my mods come in that are actually in my Discord, they can share it, I think. So it is Sunday, November 7th, 2021. Got overcast sky. We got a little bit of, just a little bit of mist going on. Well, not really mist, but you know, we got a little something going on. A little mistiness. It's not really fog. Well, it's kind of fog. Let me see. This was looking like. Got some cloud cover. I don't see any chance for rain though. California desperately needs it, so they say, right? Even though there's primary water that our illustrious government has access to, and they can end this drought at any moment. You know, they got dams and reservoirs and shit where they control the flow of water. So, you know, when they tell you there's a drought, that means that they're keeping the water from the people, and they want to charge a premium for people to have water. Just so y'all know that. Was good. Black Spring with autumn. Like, because think about it. There are tribes in Africa where they don't get rain sometimes for 8 to 9 months, 10 months. But they're able to find water underground. They know how to locate it. They know how to tap into it. There are springs all over the world where water gushes out 24/7. But there's no rain. How is that possible? If we need rain to have groundwater, then how is it possible that these springs spew water out year round? Hot springs too. Hot springs, regular springs, you know what I'm saying? Cisterns never can be depleted. Exactly. You know, when the wells dry up, that's only because the water table dropped. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. Or the government is controlling the flow of groundwater. And they're stopping wells from being full. You can't find it. You can't find Discord itself, or you can't find my thingy, because my Discord server, the Discord server is Freedom's March. You know what I mean? I don't know if you, I'm not too familiar with this with Discord yet. I don't know if you can find it that way, but my username is Bane Rising. So if you, I think you can send a friend request. I'm not sure. Should be able to. My particular one, Bane Rising. That's how you, that's the username. So you might be able to send a friend request. I'll try to make sure that I post it in the description this time. But I have to remember. Anyway, so yeah, droughts. Yeah, there's not a lot of rain. These people control the flow of water. That's all it is to it. Anyway, in some places they can't control all the flow of water because there's so much of it. But you know, it's just that people, you know, they don't think to look for it. Then, you know, they don't really. They're so used to their government taking care of them and doing things for them. They're not even thinking about shit like that. They're not thinking about how can I find a great source of water in case some shit go down. I'll always have access. Like I said, the movies Mad Max and the Book of Eli touches on that. You know what I'm saying? That's the hidden message. You know, in the Book of Eli, he had access to a spring that never stopped flowing. Why does it never stop flowing? Because water does not disappear, right? It's always recycled back into the earth. Even if you boil it, it evaporates and it goes somewhere else. Eventually it gets back into the earth. Tina Hartman was good. Anyway, a lot of things going on this week, man. A lot of things going on this week. But one thing I want to touch on real quick, because, you know, Mr. Tough Guy, the clown shoe Lucas, I wanted to touch on what he talked about his live stream yesterday. You know, I tap in every now and then just to see what he's talking about. You know, he does these 20,000 hour lives, and I can't sit through all of it. I can't even sit through 15, 20 minutes of his live streams because it just gets so annoying. He's so fucking corny. Anyway, what's the other name besides Bane Rising? The other name? Oh, the server name is Freedom's March. Anyway, so this guy talks about how he got into an argument at a movie theater with a Marvel employee. And I'm not thinking it's a woman. I don't know, you know, I'm not thinking it's a female. Because, you know, in order for me to get into it with somebody enough for me to talk about it on a YouTube video is if it's a man. I'm not arguing with a woman so intensely that I feel like I have to share it on YouTube, on Facebook, or on the live stream. It just would never, I don't argue with women like that. Like, at some point it's like, okay, well, I'm not gonna argue with her because, you know, especially if we can't agree to disagree. If we can agree to disagree, that's fine. But I find it more easy to do that when I'm arguing or having a debate with a female, and it gets kind of heated. You know, you just don't. I don't know. I don't get into intense arguments to where I'm like cussing them out and calling them out their name and all other shit. And so I'm not expecting the Marvel employee to be female. I don't know why I projected my own integrity and my own sensibilities onto the clown shoe Lucas, when clearly he has no integrity and he has no sense of just any moral standing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's kind of amazing to me. And what's so bad about it is he thinks he's tough. He thinks he's like because he's verbally abusing the shit out of this woman, that he's this tough guy, you know what I mean? And he's acting like he wished a man would step in and be a Captain Save-A-Ho, you know what I'm saying? Where if it was a man like me, and you're like, you're talking to a female like that, and you're sitting here talking about kill yourself and all these other stupid ass words, you're not going to know I'm stepping in. You're gonna feel something hard against your jaw, and you're not gonna know what happened. You're gonna be looking up from the floor at the movie theater lights. So, you know, some men might be like, oh, you don't have to talk to her like that, this, that, and the third. But some men, they're not even gonna say nothing to you. They're just gonna clock the shit out of you and walk on. Because it's unnecessary. You know, he's talking about how, okay, so apparently he's talking to his friend. He went to a movies with a dude, by the way. Just so y'all know. He went to the movies with his homeboy. I don't go to the movies with dudes unless like my brother or something like that. I'm going to the movies with me and my wife, with my best friend and his wife, but I don't go to movies with dudes. You need the 4-digit tag? All right, I don't know. Oh, hey, Deuce, was good. What is good? So it's like, why are you going to the movies with another man? Hey, do you, pimping? Do you? I'm not doing that. I'm not going to the movies with a man sitting next. That's just weird as fuck. I don't know how y'all feel about that. I make sure to leave Lucas thumbs down every time that's what's up. Maybe he should have just Netflix and chill with him. Right, he wouldn't have had these problems, right? But no, he wanted to go see the Eternals. And I guess, you know, it's getting really bad reviews. Yeah, does anybody know my Discord? Discord, anybody? I don't think anybody in here is on my Discord yet. All right, I'll make sure that I go ahead and post it in the description this time. Like, I promise I'll do it. I won't forget. Anyway. So he's like arguing. So he says to the dude, that was the worst Marvel movie ever, right? And the chick, she's like, I work for Marvel. If you want to talk shit, go outside or something like that. And that's all she said, right? Now, she doesn't have the authority or the power to make anybody go outside. I would have just said, no, I think I'm going to stay right here. And that would have been it. I wouldn't have felt the need to start fuming, going off, you know what I'm saying? All this other shit that he started doing. Like, I would not feel good about myself if I started cussing this woman out, standing there, staring at her like I was gonna do something to her. Like, that's what he was doing to this woman. That's what he said he was doing. He said he was staring at her and her friend, you know, and all the other shit, like trying to intimidate her. And he actually thinks he's big shit because of it. He thinks he's tough. You know what I'm saying? And then he mentions how, oh, I wish she had her boyfriend with her, or some guy would have stepped in. Like, come on, dude, no you don't. I'm gonna tell you something about people like Lucas. Lawrence Reno was good. Roseland was good. Over the last year, I've noticed he has to need to verbally express dominance over women because he has no other way to do it. You know, most real men who are looked upon as leaders by the women in their life, they dominate silently. They dominate in silence. They do it through actions. An example, you know what I'm saying? Anybody has to bark and go off on women like that to feel superior, well, you know how inferior they may be. You know what I'm saying? Just a thought. But yeah, I've come to the personal opinion that the clown shoe Lucas hates women. I've drawn that conclusion from personal opinion and just from his actions. I think he hates women because he knows he can't control them, you know? And that's why he behaves that way towards women, you know? And that's why he tries to act like he's this pimp guru that knows how to deal with women. But he always leaves clues and telltale signs that women dog him out. Let me tell you y'all that. Women dog him out. He has actually given an example of that before, about how he was messing with this chick that had an ex-boyfriend, and he couldn't keep her mind off her ex-boyfriend. And you know, he knew he was still hung up on her ex-boyfriend. You know, that's one example. He's given many examples. Just listen to him. But he likes to come off as though he could teach some game to some people, to some dudes. You know what I'm saying? When the people that he would spit that game to are definitely not on a level or not there with women yet. You know what I'm saying? Pimply faced teenagers who don't know how to deal with women yet. Those are Lucas's students. In my 20s, I would have been Lucas's teacher at his age now. If I'd have known Lucas when I was ripping and running and getting it cracking, he would be my pupil. You know what I'm saying? That's how, you know, low grade he is. Now, women might find him attractive. You know what I'm saying? He's got the muscular stature and all that other shit. And I guess you could call him handsome or whatever. But women, in order to gain a woman's respect fully and 100%, it has to be more than just that. There are other things involved than just being good looking and having muscles, right? You know, there's a certain quality that women look for in men that is based in nature. It's something that you can't necessarily be taught, but you can improve what you have as much as possible. And some women will appreciate it. You know what I mean? But I get a feeling that women don't regard him any way seriously outside of the way he looks. I really believe that. What's up with the mandate holder? I'm gonna get into that. Lawrence Reno, yeah, I watched some of his live stream last night where he was acting tough. Talking about how he was acting tough on a Marvel employee who was a woman. You know what I'm saying? She was a woman. And he was proud of himself. He was proud of himself for being a big baby in a movie theater toward a woman. That just, like, and his audience, of course, was, egging him on. California Dreaming NYC was good. Alex Mason, he must have been eating soys. You funny. Let's see. March 777. March 777. March 77 says, by the way, I tried to go to urgent care by my house. The doctor came in and said he needed to PCR me because my sinus infection was suspect for the COVID. Literally talked about policy and his hands were tied. Wow. No fever or cough, just a stuffed nose. I figure it was a 50-50 shot. What you gotta do is, you gotta find a doctor that, you know, is gonna put your best interests before policy, all right? Usually, private practices are better because they have their own policies. These policies these doctors are telling you all about are the policies of the hospital. It's not government policy. You know what I'm saying? So, oh, you don't know who the Amazing Lucas is? California Dreaming NYC? It's the Amazing Lucas. You can watch him if you want and see how clown shoe he is. Anyway, Marcy says, what do he look like? I never seen him. He's a black dude. Just look him up real quick. The Amazing Lucas. March 77 says, Lucas looks like a walking question mark. But I'm gonna get into the mandates in a minute. I wanna, roast this dude real quick. Anybody that threatens my children is gonna get this work, one way or the other. Whether I can put my hands on them or roast them and talk shit about them and expose they punk asses until I can't put my hands on them. Roland says he's just a player. California says you in NYC, each kid between 5'11" will receive $100 if they get the jab. They're trying to buy our children. They're trying to buy our children's immuno-integrity. Sorry, $100 ain't gonna cut it. No amount of money is going to convince me to let you put any substance in my child through a needle. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that. Especially not that. Especially not a snap. They got us fucked up, right, people? They got us fucked up. They really think people are that desperate for $100? Look, if you needed to be offered money to get your kids jabbed, then you don't need to get your kids jabbed. Go with your first mind. If they have to offer you money to receive a medical treatment, then you should not get that treatment. That's all I'm saying. Reckless Podcast was good. Reckless in the building. KC has a new mandate. Really? Kansas City? Well, it is a liberal city. AZ Infidel was good. You know, that's funny. I know he's trying desperately to make Kyle Rittenhouse guilty. But it's not gonna happen, man. You know, like the state prosecution, they're not really trying to convict Kyle Rittenhouse convicted, these witnesses they're using are backfiring on him, if that's the case. No. Kyle Rittenhouse acting in self-defense, regardless of why he was there, how he got the weapon, you know what I'm saying? All that other shit. At the end of the day, we know what happened. The shot went off behind him, you know? People were running after him. That Rosen, whatever fuck character, had already threatened his life before. Like, no way. Kyle Rittenhouse, he defended himself. Point blank and period. He can paint it any way he wants to paint it, you know? And he draws parallels. I didn't watch the video where he's talking about Kyle Rittenhouse versus Ahmaud Arbery, but in my view, Ahmaud Arbery was acting in self-defense. When he got killed, he just didn't have a weapon. Ahmaud Arbery was being chased by vehicles. He was in a lot more dangerous situation than Kyle Rittenhouse. At least Kyle Rittenhouse had a weapon. I'm not saying one deserved, you know, self-defense over the other. What I'm saying is they both were acting in self-defense under different circumstances. You know, Kyle Rittenhouse had the advantage and the skill. Dude was skillful with that rifle. The way he used it, being chased, able to draw a bead on his target as he's backing up and able to incapacitate the first dude as he's lunging for him. It takes a lot of skill. And he didn't hit any unintended targets. Kyle Rittenhouse, for all intents and purposes, was a beast with that weapon. You know, he was efficient. He was efficient, and hell, he even shot the arm off of the dude that had a gun. The same arm dude was holding the gun in. Like, you can't, you got to recognize real skill. He was very skillful, efficient, and safe with that firearm. He was not reckless. He used it as he should have. And he probably practiced a whole lot. You cannot fault. If you are objective at any point, if you're in any way objective about the situation, there's no way you can fault Kyle Rittenhouse for what he did. Those guys that attacked him, hey, you shouldn't have did it. You shouldn't have attacked him. Point blank and period. It doesn't matter if he was protecting the buildings. It doesn't matter if you were pushing a trash can toward a gas station or trying to block a street with it. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, Kyle Rittenhouse was being chased. A shot was fired. Things were thrown at him. He turned around. Someone was lunging for him. He used the tool that he had to deal with the threat. Point blank and period. I don't care about him in the past, what he did in the past. The Clown Shoe Lucas showed a video where Kyle Rittenhouse hit a female in the back of the head while she was fighting his sister. Yo, that was punk shit. That was some punk shit. But as it relates to what happened the night of those killings, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Now, if you want to have a discussion about if Kyle Rittenhouse is a punk, we can do that. Yeah, I'll agree with you. But that doesn't mean that he didn't act in self-defense. That just means he's a punk who hits women who acted in self-defense. That's all it is to it. It's fallacious. It's an ad hominem to try to. It's an ad hominem fallacy to try to muddy the perception of what happened at night with Kyle Rittenhouse having hit a girl back in the day. Well, not back in the day, but before that. He could have hit a woman that night. Before he left the house, he could have hit his girlfriend and went over, and all that had happened, it will still be self-defense. Objectively speaking. Now, if I was that girl's brother, I might have wished that he got killed that night. But at the end of the day, he acted in self-defense, point blank, period. Reckless Podcast, that's what's up. Yeah, we'll do a, we'll get on it. I'll do a StreamYard soon. Yes, Reckless Podcast is in healthcare. Go ahead. Reckless Podcast, we can definitely talk about that. At the end of the day, Reckless, it comes down to personal choice. You know what I mean? It comes down to personal choice. I'm not saying the vaccine is going to destroy everybody. I don't know what it's going to do down the road. I know some people have died. Some people haven't. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust the numbers that they give. There's a lot involved with my decision not to get it. But we can definitely talk about it. Let's see what else you're talking about. But yeah, the Amazing Lucas feels tough arguing with a woman in a movie theater and telling her to kill herself. You know, yes, she has no right. Well, she has a right to say what she wants. See, that's the thing. If you're about freedom, you would agree with that woman's freedom to tell the Cloud Shoe Lucas to kick rocks out of the movie theater. I mean, that's it. She has the freedom of speech. What she did not do was get up and try to physically remove him from the theater. And he has the right to go off on her, to tell her to kill herself, all that shit. He has that right. But he also is a punk for thinking it's big shit tough to go off on a woman like that. You know, you have the freedom to say what you want. You have the freedom of speech. You have the freedom to tell anybody what you want. But there can be consequences involved. Like if she had a boyfriend that happened to be coming back from the bathroom when he was talking that shit, heard him going off on her. If she had a boyfriend that came up as he was talking to her like that and hauled off and knocked his ass out while he wasn't looking, that's a consequence of freedom of speech sometimes. And that's why I say, even then, even with the knowledge that I can get my ass beat for saying what I want to say, I still want that freedom. I still want that freedom to say what I want to say, even if I get cold cocked and knocked the fuck out. And that's what I mean by dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery. I will take that any day. I will take getting punched in the mouth for saying what I want over keeping my mouth shut to be safe. And this is the thing. And this is what the last thing I'll say about the Clown Shoe Lucas. So he's a big dude, right? Big muscular guy. He's used to people being intimidated and not wanting to confront him when he does stupid shit like that. So he feels like because he has that stature, that's going to save him from any violent attack against him. He almost said, he even said as much in that live stream. You know what I'm saying? How, you know, he'll verbally destroy somebody because he feels like, well, I'm so muscular and appear to be intimidating to weaker people, or seemingly weaker people. I can pretty much say what I want to say because I have this intimidating look. But I see through that. Sometime, at some point, somebody's not gonna care about that. And they're gonna handle them. No, it's not Bane. 10109. No, it's not. It's Bane, right? I'll like I said, I will try to remember to post it in the description when the video goes up. All right, let me go back a few comments. I just looked him up. He is gay. Marcy, you funny. Hey, I think so. I honestly think Amazing Lucas is gay. He just needs to come out. It's okay, man. It's all right. It's all right. You know what made me... This dude said he was going to go slay at a club with a dude. Look, listen. Grown men don't use the word slay when they talk about going to the club. Unless we slaying a dragon, we're not using that word. I'm sorry. I know it's just a word and that, like, it's not so, like, there's no rules to what straight men can say and gay men can say. But come on, slay. Come on. Like, especially you talking about me and you talking to another man, we can go to the club and slay. Like, I've never had a straight man approach me like that. I've never even thought about using the word slay. But you know who I've seen use the word slay a lot? Gay boys. I'm just saying. Gay boys. Anyway. So yeah, that's it. I just wanted to talk about how, oh yeah, Marcy T just sent me a friend request. Boom. There you go. And Marcy T, I will respond to that friend request after this live. I don't want to disrupt the live. So Marcy T, if you could put up there how you got to that so Sunshine can get in there. Oh yeah, Sunshine, I just got your friend request. So I got y'all. Yeah. I think Clown Shoe Lucas is gay. Real shit. Like, I don't have gaydar, but like, sometimes it's obvious. Sometimes you don't need gaydar when the shit's in your face. You feel me? Pause. But it is what it is. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. But, you know, I have a gay friend. I got like 1 or 2 gay friends. Oh, Anarchy, you sent me a friend request? You already a friend. Rashad Gibbons, you already a friend, aren't you? Anyway. I have gay friends, man. Like, I grew up with this dude that was very feminine. And as a matter of fact, when he was a teenager and my wife was a teenager, they actually were like a boyfriend and girlfriend for a hot minute. They got caught kissing in the closet and all that shit. But that was my wife and him. They were going steady a little bit, you know what I mean? When they were little teenagers, you know? But he was very effeminate, and we all looked at him like, yo, man, you might be a little funny. But, you know, we had much love and respect for him, you know? And then he finally came out as gay, and we were like, yeah, we know, man, we know. But it's not a big deal. Like, he's still our friend. Now, he didn't went all the way with the gay shit to where I could not be his Facebook friend for a long time because he started wearing underwear and like he was posting pictures and videos in his underwear. He's a dancer, so he danced on the Disney cruise. He dances in Vegas now. He's a dancer in Vegas. So, and he does these like high kicks and thongs and like, I was like, man, I can't have this shit on my timeline, man. I mean, it's not homophobia. It's just that's some shit I don't want to see. You know what I mean? So I could not be his friend. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I got my Facebook page taken away because I was being so controversial. Now, this was like way before I got on YouTube. I was going hard in the paint against the system. Like, before they even started clamping down on Facebook censorship, I was getting censored. That's how hard I was going against the government. I was getting censored before censorship was a thing on fucking Facebook. I got my whole channel taken. I had to start a whole new Facebook page. And when I started my new Facebook page, I could not accept this friend request again. It was sitting in there. It was sitting there in my friend request thing for like 4 years. And then one day I accidentally accepted the friend request and we're friends now, but you know, it's all good. It's okay to be gay. You know what I'm saying? Just be gay and be happy. Yeah, Lawrence Rittenhoe is gay. I ain't got no problem with Lawrence Rittenhoe. And I've been knowing Lawrence Rittenhoe was gay. It's okay. As a matter of fact, Lawrence Rittenhoe was on my live before talking about how Lucas reminds him of his ex-boyfriend. That shit was hilarious. But it is what it is, man. Be gay and be married, shit. You ain't gotta hate women. I'm sure Lawrence Rittenhoe does not hate women. Tamiko Anderson says, Marcy, I love the amazing Lucas and I love TDOA. I defend TAL always because his show is entertaining. I really think he is a comedian. I don't look like the amazing Lucas brother. All right. Tamiko, I don't look like his brother. We all black people don't look alike. Like, I have no problem with Tamiko. Look, y'all can love the amazing Lucas. Y'all, look. Those of y'all don't know, are familiar with him. He can sometimes be entertaining in that gay comedian kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he came out as a gay comedian, he would kill it. That motherfucker would kill it. Look, I understand comedy and, you know, all the other shit. But when he threatened my children, he was not being a comedian. He was being serious. Like, he wasn't seriously going to hurt my children, but he was very upset with me. He was pissed at me, angry when he threatened my children. So, you know, that wasn't about comedy. When he threatened my children, he was highly upset, and he blocked me. That's when he deleted my comments and he blocked me from his channel, and I haven't been able to make a comment on the channel since. And when I call in, I only called in quite a couple times, but when I called in and tried to get in on the StreamYard, he ignored me. So, you know, that wasn't about no comedy. But he's just, you know, to come out as a gay comedian. You haven't been with anyone since 2007. Why not? AZ Infidel says the last part of Discord invite. Okay, thank you. Thank you guys for getting up in there. I know AZ Infidel is on my Discord. Oh, Bane Rising. Oh, is that 6109? Is that something that's added to the end? Yeah, I see. I have no idea about that. So anyway, AZ Infidel. When you know, when I hit the road, I think I want to come visit you, man. I'd like to come check you out. Check out what you got going on. Of course, I'll keep it discreet. So when I do my on the road vlogs or whatever, when I go to these different farms and ranches, I'm not going to give a schedule. I'm not going to say, oh, I'm going to this on this date, I'm going there on this date, because I'm trying to be, you know, incognito while I'm on the road. I'm trying to be, you know, I ain't trying to give away too much shit, because I don't need, you know, just to be smart. So typically, you'll see where I've been after I've already been there. Like, I'll upload videos. I probably won't do live streams on the farms and the ranches. It'll all be in uploaded, recorded, pre-recorded. Just because, you know, I just, you know, just to be smart. I don't want nobody to know where I'm gonna go next, where I've been. Like, even when I visit these national parks, I probably do live streams at the national parks. You know what I'm saying? And then that's probably the only place I do live streams. On the road, actually on the road while I'm driving, and in the national parks. And perhaps while I'm sitting down and able to do like news streams and shit like that. I'm very excited about next year. Late next year, probably around this time next year, we'll be on the road. Oh, we're not on friends on Discord? I'm still trying to figure Discord out, man. Tamiko Anderson says, TOA, the amazing Lucas is not a letter person. Hey, that's, you know, I disagree, but it's okay. I disagree. Ask Lawrence Ritno what he thinks. Listen, I'm just gonna tell you the suspect things I know about. He arches his eyebrows. All right, he arches his eyebrows and puts a line in them. Well, you know the line thing, the line in the eyebrow, that was like a thing in the 90s, right? That, you know, B2K and B2K, Immature, they were doing shit like that. It just so happens, you know, Marcus Houston had been accused by one of the B2K members of, you know, sexually assaulting him. So, I mean, he arches his eyebrows and he has these like effeminate moments in his voice and shit like that, and his hands and all that shit, and he uses the word slay. You know, that's as that's I know it's a very rudimentary interpretation of what gay is and gay isn't, but look, man, it is what it is. Men do love the amazing Lucas. Okay, Tamiko Anderson, that's your opinion. I disagree, and that's okay. We can agree to disagree. Yeah, Lawrence Reno, yeah. Mercy says she has gaydar. I bet. AZ Infidel says, I had a gay friend as a teenager. Looking back, it seems everyone protect. Yeah, like, it is what it is. Mercy is my best friend in the 80s was gay. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, he was out of the line when he threatened your children. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Way out of line. Way out of line, way out of pocket. And that's why he's a fuck. And look, I don't think he's gay because he threatened my children. All right? I'm not saying that because I want to smash his face in for threatening my children. That's a whole completely separate thing. I just think he had gay tendencies, and it is what it is. It's okay. Yeah, Lawrence Reno was there for that live stream. Oh, I should get a temporary phone. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a CB radio for the RV, and I'm gonna have a satellite phone. I think I might get a ham radio too, but ham radio, there's a lot to set that up. Is an automatic bow whooping and a trip to the exactly. That's what I was trying to tell him in that live stream, because he was going off before that, getting all mad, and I was like, look, man, you shouldn't say shit to people on a live stream that you wouldn't say to their face. And if that's what you would do to my face, then go ahead. I'm just giving you some friendly advice. And that's when he went off on my children. So it is what it is. Lawrence Reno says, I have not been with anyone because I stay with my father who is 84 and help him out. I just do not have time. I understand, man. Much respect to you for taking care of your dad like that. Tamiko Anderson says, no, he was for sure a dick for attacking your children. You don't look, bro, but you have the light eyes. He is your brother from another mother. Oh, Lord. AZ Infidel says, LOL. Yeah, exactly. Safety. Yeah, maybe he's bi. I don't know. But I have a strong feeling that it might be he can get a woman, but he can't keep them. So that's what typically, if you're in your late 30s, well, I don't know how old he is, but you know, he looks way older when he takes his hat off, or when he doesn't have a hat on, with his misshapen ass head. Anyway, if you're in your 30s and your late 30s, and you still trying to be Pimp Daddy Maclicious, you know what I'm saying? And you know, when you attack women and you disrespect women, like women don't like you, bro. I think they get to know you and they see you for the insecure, insignificant prick you are, and they just choose not to fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure I know women out there that would tear him apart, that would just tell him, don't talk when you're around me, shut your fucking mouth and eat this pussy. That's what they'll tell him. They would just use him to eat their pussy. That's the type of dude he is to women. Yeah, exactly. I got babies. Super green gay Fifth Element. You funny, sunshine. California Dream is it me or does it? Everybody is wilding out. We're gonna get off this the Clown Shit Lucas shit in a minute. Time to be TD away. The line in the eyebrow was like a teardrop. It was supposed to indicate gang life. What? Tamiko. Really? Are you joking right now, Tamiko? Are you trying to tell me that the line in the eyebrow is gang shit? It's not. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works, baby girl. Come on, baby girl. Tamiko. Come on. Listen, I know gang members. I know plenty of gang members. Listen, that's not real life, baby girl. I don't know who told you that, but gangsters don't go around arching their eyebrows and putting lines in them. And the Amazing Luke is not a gang member. He's not a gang. What? The teardrop is a symbol, but not a slash in the eyebrow. No. I'm sorry to tell you. Next thing you know, you're going to tell me that he said slay because it's a Crip gang in Malibu. Come on now. Tamiko. Now listen. They do these young gang members do a lot of real suspect shit. But it's not a gang symbol. If a gang member is slashing his eyebrow, it's not because he's in a gang, it's because he wants to slash his eyebrows. And he might be a little suspect. You know? He might be a gay member of the gang. But it's not a representation of gang life. It's not a badge of honor in the gang to get a slash in your eyebrow. I'm sorry to tell you, Tamiko. That was funny. Right, he's gangsta-licious. Now, if he gangsta-licious, I believe that. Sunshine says, if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck and wears glitter and bedazzled fanny packs, then it's a gay duck. You sound crazy because saying, Bien says, Tamiko Anderson, you sound crazy because that represents Bloods and Crips in any way. I'm a former Blood, and we never use that as a symbol for anything. But you believe, yeah, Bien, we know what's up. Listen, my cousin is Munchie B from Inglewood family. And I got another cousin, his brother, Big Munchie, from Crenshaw Mafia. I got friends who are rolling Crips, rolling 60s. I got friends who are from Van Ness Gangsters, Centerview Piru. I know people from Campanella Park. Listen, None of them niggas wore slashing eyebrows to represent gang life. And even if they did, the Amazing Lucas is not a gang member. So it wouldn't apply to him. It's all right. Yeah, skinny jeans and new Crips. Sunshine. Remember they was dancing around talking about homies over hoes? Yeah, man. I feel like Amazing Lucas, it feels like that, homie over hoes. Why does it have to be anyone over the other? They both, you know, you can love your homeboys as much as you love women. But I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to love women more. I love women. I think women are precious. I cherish women. I feel the need to protect them and defend them. Maybe I'm just so extremely straight that I have a high bar of what real men should do. Not to say that gay men aren't real men. Because like I said, there are gay men that respect women. And I don't relate hating women to being gay. What I'm relating to him being gay is his little other things that he does. When he does I like ass stuff, he feels way too comfortable doing that. Look half, like, that hurts my teeth when I do that. Anyway, let me stop roasting this nigga. Homie over, how'd it go? Homie over hoes. Remember that? Remember they was wearing them skirts and them halter tops? And Riley was running around with a man purse. That shit was hilarious. Poor Riley. He didn't know what he was doing. And that was thugnificent. Thugnificent. Shit's crazy, man. Oh yeah, dude, a homie, yeah. That was funny. /, not the arch. He does not arch his eyebrows. They're natural. Maybe was a little hurt because of Snow Bunny. He did him wrong. Tamiko, there's no slash in gangsters. There's no gang members don't slash their eyebrows. Crips and Bloods, they don't slash their eyebrows. It's not a represent. Come on. And he does arch his eyebrows. You can see the little shadow. I know my woman, she gets her eyebrows arched. And I know what it looks like. He gets his eyebrows arched and he tells them to put a slash in there while they're at it. Let me tell you something. You know what I mean? It's okay. Now I'm half just roasting him, but I'm like 89% serious. I think he's gay. I'm 89% serious, 50% joking. Ain't skinny jeans also for young white skateboarding kids? Who knows, man? Chicago Steven says, that show was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. BN says, the need to be right is unattractive in a woman, 100%. BN, are you a woman? What set was you from? I dated a chick. She was from Inglewood family. She was nuts. I was like 16 or 17, and I was messing with this chick. Oh, my bad. I don't know, being you don't have a profile pic. Anyway, I dated a chick from Inglewood family. She was nuts. Not dated, I was a kid. We were fucking around. But she thought she was my girlfriend. And I fucked around. Now this is when I was living in the group homes and shit. I was fucking around with this Mexican broad too. And she found out and went ballistic. And she beat old girl's ass. I felt bad for her because the Mexican girl was a little petite, cute little thing. And the Inglewood family chick, she was like 5'10", she was built like a brick shit house, but she was bigger than this girl and just mollywopped her. I felt bad. She was nuts. And then she came and threw a milk crate at me. She was crazy. Oh, you're from ESP and SAC? Oh, that's what's up. Urban Dictionary, Cora, State. I'm not familiar with ESP in Sacramento, but that's what's up. But I can tell you one thing, the gay men I have met, both post and pre-op, they can pick up another guy from a mile away, another gay man. I'm sure they can. You have people from Centerview and families though? Oh, that's what's up. I had this, I used to roll with this cat named Buddy from Centerview, Peru when I was 16. And I met him in the group home. But yeah, we was tough. And then there was this chick, Bam Bam, the big girl from Inglewood family. She was wild. I remember so these motherfuckers, I swear, we all went out. Me, Bam Bam, Buddy, this one chick named Tiffany I was dating. Well, I keep saying dating like I was grown. That I was fucking around with. We all went hanging out, running the streets, you know what I'm saying? We had a curfew, so we get out as early as possible on the weekend and getting as much shit as possible. But we was drinking E&J, you know, Irk and Jerk. We used to call it Irk and Jerk. We was drinking Irk and Jerk, mobbing down the street, and they was smoking weed. Now, I didn't smoke weed too tough, but I think that shit was laced because they was smoking. And Bam Bam, man, let me tell you, Bam Bam, she started all of a sudden running down the street talking about my legs are on fire. That shit was hilarious. I'm looking like, what the fuck? But I'm drunk as shit. I didn't smoke that shit. They were trying to get me to smoke it. I was like, nah, I don't know where y'all got that shit from. But she was running around talking about her legs on fire. I ain't never seen her move that fast with her big self. My legs on fire, my legs on fire. She was running down the street. Oh shit. And then another time we was mobbing, you know, these niggas, they had me wearing red Pendletons. You know, y'all know if y'all familiar with the Pendleton. It's a big ass flannel shirt jacket type thing. You know what I'm saying? That all the Bloods was wearing back in the day. They was wearing that in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? The big Pendletons, you know, I was an honorary Blood. You know, not a real Blood, but I never got jumped on. None of that shit. I'm not an actual gang member, you know, but they had me all in red and, you know, it was fun. But I was rocking the Pendleton and we was just doing a lot of crazy shit. I mean, we did some shit. We did some shit, but we had to eat. Sometimes we would not make curfew and we would be locked out of the group home. And so we had to do certain shit to make sure we ate and all this shit. We did some crazy shit. I ain't gonna even lie to you. We did some crazy shit. We did some shit that I'm not even gonna talk about. There's a statute. The statute of limitations is up, but I ain't gonna talk about it. But we did some crazy shit to survive out on the streets. But anyway, another time, I'm telling you, I don't know where they was getting this weed from, But that combined with the irk and jerk, it was just trouble. So the chick I was telling y'all about that I was messing with from Inglewood family, I can't remember her name, but we was, and it, like her ex-boyfriend, I remember her distinctly because her ex-boyfriend was a grown-ass man. Now she's 16, and her ex-boyfriend, who was locked up in prison, who was also like an OG blood member, Inglewood family member, he was like 26, 27. And anyway, he's fucking child molester anyway. So we're all mobbing, and of course we have been drinking and they've been smoking, and her ass got mad at me for some reason. Now this was after she beat the Hispanic chick's ass. And I would not see her again after this incident. But she ran off into the street and got hit by a car. She got hit by a car, man. But not full on. She got hit by the side of a truck. All right. She got hit by the side of the truck and spun against the truck as the truck went by and fucking fell and hit the ground. And we had to call the ambulance. We didn't have cell phones, so, you know, it was a phone booth. And yeah, they came and got her, and I hadn't seen her since. That was the last time I saw her. Talk about a breakup. That was a hell of a breakup right there. Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, I don't want to say it was funny, but it kind of was. Y'all had to see it. Y'all had to be there. She spun against a fucking truck like a fucking cartoon. That shit was crazy. And luckily, that's how it hit her. I'm so glad it didn't hit her full on, because it was going like 30 miles per hour. But it clipped the side of her. I mean, she hit the side of the truck. She spun. And even after the truck kept going, like it pulled over, but after the truck passed her, she was still spinning like a ballerina, man. It was, I'm sorry, man. It wasn't funny at the time because we were all in shock, but it's funny, like, when you think about it. Her ass was spinning and kept spinning after the truck passed, fell to the ground. I think she broke her leg. And yeah, ambulance came and got her. Never saw her again. But shit like that happens out on the streets when you that group home life.
I bought the tickets in May.
People coming in and out of your life like nothing. I was dating a Colombian chick. You know what I'm saying? I really liked her. I thought I was in love with her and shit. But we were always getting in trouble together. We was always getting kicked out of group homes. And then her mother got fed up. And her mother came to see me because she knew that I was important to her and she was important to me. And her mother came to see me and to get some of her things, but she showed me, because she had been going for like weeks. Like all of a sudden she was going. And I was like, what the fuck? I was real sad about that shit. I was real upset. I was like, where the fuck is she at? I was asking the counselors every day, where the fuck is Jennifer? Where the fuck is Jennifer? That was her name. Where the fuck is Jennifer at? Where's Jennifer at? I was mad. And that was before I got with the Inglewood family chick. So Jennifer, yeah, she disappeared. And her mom came to see me and showed me pictures of her daughter at a school for girls in Columbia. She was like, yeah, she was getting in too much trouble, fucking with you. And we had to send her back to Columbia. And that was it. So when you live in group homes and shit like that, and I was in that system for like 2 years, and the last thing I was in Job Corps. But right before that, I had to go to a youth camp because I just kept getting in trouble. We would do all kinds of silly shit. And I'll talk about the less crazy shit. Like we used to steal CDs out of a CD store, out of a music store. We would break in to Universal Studios all the time. You know what I'm saying? Shoplifting, other kind of crazy shit that I'm not gonna talk about. That we felt like we needed to do these things because these group homes kept putting us out. But really, it was our fault. Like, we were the ones cutting up. We were doing all this crazy shit. Did nobody tell us to do all this crazy shit? But we did. So I ended up in a youth camp. And that was like the last place I ended up before Job Corps. So yeah, people go in and out of your life when you live that and living that type of lifestyle as a teenager. You know, you go to high school and you meet people that you kick it with for 4 years. Y'all might even go to the same college and y'all buddies. But once you get broken up, taken out of high school, I got kicked out of high school in the 10th grade. So I was bad. I got kicked out of high school in 10th grade, and I never made those connections with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? That some of my friends did. All the friends I had that stayed in school until 12th grade, you know what I'm saying? They formed connections with these people. I didn't, because I was, when cats were going to school, I was cutting up in the streets. You know what I'm saying? The group homes would send us to school. Motherfucker, we wasn't going to school. We was running the streets. I got kicked out of 4 different high schools when I was 16, 17 years old. I didn't even finish high school. I had to get a GED when I was in Job Corps, you know? But yeah, you don't make those type of connections because these people that are in that system, runaways, and, you know, mostly runaways, and kids that got kicked out of the house, kids that got their parents voluntarily put them in group homes, like, they come in and out. Like, you don't form those type of connections because they can be there 1 week and then be going the next. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Because like I said, a lot of them are runaways who find shelter, end up getting found by their parents, and they go back. So you don't make connections like that. Like this one dude, Leonard, he was from Stockton. That was my boy. You know what I'm saying? First group home I ever went to, he was my roommate. Hella cool cat. Big, tall, black dude, like real dark skin. Had dreads. Hella cool cat, man. One of the coolest people I ever met. We was tight for like 3 or 4 months. And we both got kicked out of that first group home together because there was some shit. It was a co-ed group home. And there was this chocolate thing, man. She was bad. Woo, she was a little chocolate thing. And I used to, man, we used to mess around, man. We would mess around. First, we wasn't doing no type of sex or nothing like that, but we were like touching and kissing and feeling on each other. And then, you know, one day she's in the shower and I'm like, let me see what can happen, right? So I knock on the door. She's coming out of the shower. I knock on the door. She opened the door and she looks at me like, okay. And then she snatches me in the bathroom and we get it cracking. And we come out. There's a counselor right there. And they had to kick us out. And then Leonard got kicked out for the same thing with another chick. So we went to the second group home together. And after that, we was there for a minute. That motherfucker was gone. That was it. Like, I didn't have any phone numbers for him. None of that shit. But I feel like that's a cat that I could have had in my life for a very long time. You know what I'm saying? I felt like Jennifer could have probably been somebody I could have been with for a little bit. I felt like there were so many people, even Buddy from Centerview. Like, I was going, you know, I went to the youth camp. He stayed at that one group home we were at, the Way In, I think they called it. So there were several group homes, and they all had like reputations. And like the best group home to be in was the Way In. The Way In you had your own room, you had bathrooms in the room. The food was good, like the counselors were nice. It was a nice little environment. It was big, and there were certain group homes that people wanted to get into, and certain group homes that you didn't want to go to, especially like the all-boy group homes. But this youth camp I went to, that shit was trash, yo. Like, it was basically like jail. That youth camp I went to was like jail that your parents put you in. So it's like, it's not like a youth authority camp. It's kind of like that, but it's kind of not. It's co-ed, so it's not like a full-on youth authority. You know what I'm saying? Like a YA, but it's a youth camp. But it's like jail, and you don't want to be there. It was in San Fernando Valley, where it was hot as fuck, and I did not want to deal. It was miserable. People were fighting all day, every day. It was like mini jail. It was like a prison. Like you got locked in, right? You got locked in. It was a fucking fence around. Like it was kind of crazy. But I actually ran away from there. I broke out that motherfucker. I said, oh hell no, and I had to shave. Like you couldn't grow a beard, nothing. Like I had facial hair. It was crazy. You had to be bald. Like it was a lot of shit. The food was trash. The counselors were assholes. They were like COs. They were assholes, and they forced you to go to group counseling every day. It was just whack as fuck. And you know, the only thing that made it tolerable was there were women. There were girls there. You know what I'm saying? But you wasn't doing shit. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You wasn't about getting nothing cracking with the girls in that motherfucking place. Like there was no way, cause y'all were on like at night. You guys get separated to separate parts of the camp. So there was no way you was getting into anything. And during the day, you were like around counselors all day. You had no time to be alone, to sneak off and do nothing. It was crazy. It was fucking nuts. And then they'd always make you take a fucking knee. Every time they talk to you, take a knee. Oh, this shit was trash. You had to kneel. They made you kneel before these motherfuckers. It was crazy. So I got out of there. Now they tell you, this is what they told you to scare your ass. If you leave, the cops will pick you up, right? Like they were basically making it seem like there were cops guarding the place 24/7. And if you left, you would get called by the police and go to juvie. That's what they told you. I was like, fuck you. That's how much of a rebel I was, man. I've always been a rebel. I've always been what they call incorrigible. But yeah, they tried to tell me, oh yeah, if you leave, yeah, the cops are gonna get you. I said, okay, we'll see about that. So my ass hopped the fence and walked my ass to the bus stop and took my ass back. I took my ass back to my mama house. You know what I'm saying? Because we were already talking about getting me into Job Corps. There was just a waiting list, and I had to wait a certain amount of time. I was like, shit, I'm done with this. I took my ass back to the house. Actually, I couldn't stay with my mom, but I went and stayed with my brother until I was ready to go to Job Corps. So my brother was grown. I lived with him, until I was about 17 and a half. And that was it, man. Took my ass to Job Corps. Learned several type of trades you can learn at Job Corps. And I feel like Job Corps is better than school because you get to learn a trade. They had nursing. They had secretarial type shit. And they had construction. They had different professions that you could learn about in Job Corps. And I went through HMT, what they call it. Construction. It was construction. And that's when I took a liking to electrical. So when I turned 18, I fucking went to Arizona to become a pre-apprentice electrician. And it was hot as fuck. And we were roping houses every day. We would rope 2 or 3 houses a day, doing all these tract homes. And that shit was, I was making $6.50 an hour. I was making $6.50 an hour, but my journeyman was making $21 an hour. Back then, back in '98 in Arizona, I was making $6.50. So, and then shortly after that, I joined the Army. My bad, I just went off on a tangent. I went private school from kindergarten all the way through to college and got into multiple private colleges. My high school is an academy. My mom was strict, I bet. 12 years straight of uniforms and strict rules at home and at school. But I love that my mom sent me to private school in the academy. That's what's up. All right, that's what's up, Rashad. Anyway, I didn't even mean to talk about all that. But I guess I'll get into fucking Joe Biden. So it looks like Joe Biden's mandate got halted by the courts. So the appeals court shot that shit down for a little bit. They put a stay on it, meaning that the CDC, or not the CDC, OSHA cannot implement those rules as long as that stay is in place. So looks like the court system appears to be doing the right thing for now. My question is, why do we have to go to court? Why do we have to go to court to have bodily autonomy? Why do we have to appeal to the court to say, yo, I don't want this medical procedure. I don't want to use this prophylactic measure. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do that. I want to depend, I'm healthy. You know what I'm saying? I'm active. You know what I'm saying? I got, my immune system is on point. Like, my heart is in good shape. My lungs are in good shape. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do I need to, I don't need this procedure. I shouldn't even have to explain all that. I shouldn't have to give a reason, right? I don't know if y'all know this doctor. I forgot his fucking name, YouTube. He was talking about Joe Rogan. He was talking about Joe Rogan versus Sanjay Gupta, right? And, I forgot what this doctor's name is. What he calls himself on YouTube. He's a bald dude. And he's always talking about the jab, the vaccine, and all that shit. And he's talking about Joe Rogan versus Sanjay Gupta, and he's talking about how Joe Rogan, he had the kitchen sink, right? He had the kitchen sink thrown at him when he got COVID. All right. Now, I'm not using COVID in a disparaging. I'm not going against the guidelines. I'm just saying what happened. Joe Rogan got COVID and he had the kitchen sink thrown at him. And what happened? So this doctor is talking about how Sanjay could have responded to certain things that Joe Rogan was saying, and how if he was there, he would say this, that, and the third. Now, this doctor is very arrogant, you know what I'm saying, because he's a doctor and he has certain views on the vaccine and all that shit. But anyway, he's like, you're not willing, the doctor that is breaking down the conversation between Sanjay and Joe Rogan. He's like, you're willing. No, he said, you don't want to get the jab, but you're willing to take ivermectin, monoclonal antibodies, a Z-Pack, Zithromycin Z-Pack, and these other, you're taking all these medications for Modelo 19, but you're not willing to take the vaccine. And he said he would have asked Joe Rogan that. And I'm like, you're acting like that is such a question that can't be answered. Like, oh, you got me good with that question. No, because if I were Joe Rogan and you asked me that question, I would say, because the fuck I wanted to. Because the fuck I'm grown. That's why. I take what the fuck I want to take. What you got to say about that, Doc? Yeah, I decided to have the kitchen sink thrown at me rather than the vaccine. So, your point? Like trying to say, oh, well, it makes no sense to take this medication and not be willing to take that medication. Okay, so it doesn't make sense to you. That's irrelevant. I'm a grown-ass man. If I want to take azithromycin, if I want to take ivermectin, if I want to take a Z-Pack and monoclonal antibodies and get a vitamin C drip or a vitamin drip, you know, whatever the fuck they call that thing, then as a grown-ass man, as a grown-ass adult, I can do that. Point blank and period. I don't need your permission. I don't need to explain to you why I'm willing to go with one form of treatment over another. He really thought he had Joe Rogan there. No, you didn't have Joe Rogan there. Because I feel like Joe Rogan would have said something similar. He probably would have said, well, my doctor. Oh, he explained. Joe Rogan said he was scheduled to get the snap. But there were certain circumstances that made him, he kept missing the appointment for whatever reason. And at some point he was like, fuck it. And then he got COVID. And then he threw the kitchen sink at it. And he had COVID for 3 days and got over it. Like, so they say, you know, psychological operations are what they are. But y'all get what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, when it comes to whether or not you want to take the jab, whether you want to do it or not, you don't have to explain it to anybody. If you want to get the jab, you can, and you don't have to explain to me. You don't have to tell me why. I don't think I've ever asked anybody why they got the jab. I expect grown people to make decisions that are best for them. I'm not the moral authority on what people should do with their bodies. If you want to slam heroin, slam heroin. If you want to sniff coke, sniff coke. If you want to base jump, base jump. Just don't drag nobody off that cliff with you. You know what I'm saying? You want to bungee jump, like, do what you want with your own body. That's all there is to it. You don't have to explain the shit to me. And that's the whole point. They try to guilt you into explaining yourself. You don't have to explain yourself. We don't need a court case for us to not have to do something we don't want to do. If we want to go to work and not to get a jab to go to work, then we should be able to do that. The government should not be forcing these companies to be the vaccine police. You know what I'm saying? Now, if a private company on their own volition wants to initiate a mandate for the snap, for the vaccine, well, that's on them. They have every right to do that for their privately owned company. I have no problem with that. I just won't patronize or work for you. And as simple as that. Because there are plenty of companies that I can work for that won't require that shit. So for private companies, if you want to mandate anything, you can mandate whatever you want. If people are willing to participate in your company and they'll do so by doing what you want them to do, then that's on them. You know what I mean? Like, if a requirement is you gotta be butt naked 4 hours out of the 8-hour workday as you work for me, if that's your requirement, people have a decision to make. They can be butt naked or they can find somewhere else to work. It's up to them. That's how pro-freedom I am. So if the company wants to make a mandate, fine. But it's not up to the government to force a company to do it and to try to fine them up to $700,000. That's bullshit. It's not about public safety. It's about power and extortion. Power through extortion. They don't give a shit about your health. So, yeah, good on the court to do that, right? But we don't need a court system for companies to operate as they see fit. For private companies to operate as they see fit. Because the OSHA regulation, it says for now, it's for companies with over 100 employees. But down the line, it could end up being for companies with under 100 employees. You see that slippery slope? That inch versus a mile? You see, Joe Biden said 100 employees, but when it's in writing, they add the possibility for companies with under 100 employees. That's what these people do with the power you give them. The power over your lives. When you give them power over your lives like that, that's what they do. But get on the court. But we shouldn't need that. We shouldn't need that. We should be able to ignore the edicts of the government and live our lives as we see fit. And if they want to come fuck with us because of it, if they say, oh, you're not complying, we gonna come get you. Well, come get me then. But be prepared for a fight. Because I'm going to defend my freedom to my dying breath. And I know some people don't like that. Some people don't like freedom. They say freedom, right? Freedom. That's what they say. When you talk about freedom, they scoff and they act like you're a nutbag. They act like you're crazy for wanting to be free. And I never understood that, but that's what they want. And I understand that it's because they have been conditioned to be slaves, but I'll never be able to be at that level, at that point in my life, where I'll accept my freedoms being snatched from me one freedom at a time. I will never accept that. So I just don't understand it. I don't understand how people could accept that. And even those people that say they want their freedom, they say they enjoy their freedoms, but they want to go through the system to get their freedoms. Like you want to go through the system to get the system that the oppressive system. You want to use the oppressive system to free you. It's not going to work like that. You have to resist. You have to resist the machine. You have to resist the system. You have to resist the oppression to break the chains of oppression. I don't understand how, like, yielding and saying, okay, well, I'll go through the court or I'll fill out this paperwork and that paperwork to get sovereignty. Like, You're asking for permission to be free. And that just, you can't get free like that. You can't be free like that. You have to demand and command your freedom and just be free, live freely, and be prepared to defend your freedom. Because there's always going to be somebody or a group of people that are going to want to snatch your freedoms away. There's always going to be somebody who wants to be a tyrant. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be a tyrant rising, trying to control the masses, or try to control the community, or try to control the state or the country. You just have to recognize the signs and nip it in the bud immediately. Whatever you have to do to nip it in the bud, you do it. And you do it to preserve freedom for everyone. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about leaders. I'm talking about clowns that try to assert dominance over everyone, but ain't got a lick of sense. But they're intimidating enough to get people to fear them. Leaders aren't like that. You know what I mean? And these type of people constantly expose themselves. Damn, something pinching. Xander was good. What? Some chick out here got a snap bumper stamp. You talking about the food stamps? Tamiko Anderson, Taro Bean, Tito Bay says, Tamiko Anderson says, it takes a lot of intelligence to be an electrician. So anywhere you go, you're up there with the best. You just took a different path. Yep. Alan Powell, the real AP. You said you got the antibodies? That's what's up. Yes, I banged some chick in the shower. Well, no, she was already out the shower. I banged her in the bathroom after she got out the shower. Perfect timing. Yep. And we all got kicked out, unfortunately. Yeah. You was raised by a strong Black Hawk grandma. Sunshine, that's what's up. Hey, sometimes that's needed. Nino Brown must be employer if you have to be buck naked. Yeah, right? Hey, they chose to go up in there and fill those vials up, you know what I mean? That's what they wanted to do. Oh yeah, Xander, you been here for a while? Yeah, I just been running my mouth a little bit, you know, talking about my past as a teenage runaway. Well, technically I wasn't a runaway. My mom kicked my ass out the house. But yeah, most of the kids that go through that system, they are runaways. And when they get found, they might go to the group home for a few days or a few weeks until their parents come get them. I was one of the few kids that actually got kicked out of the house by their parents. So, yeah, there was no going back to the house for me. I had to go from group home to group home. I was in the streets. I was like living on the streets for a little bit. Yeah, that was that life. Anyway, I think I'm going to end this live stream, y'all. Unless y'all got some questions or comments real quick. I think I'm about to head out of this live stream. It's been great talking to y'all. You know how I do. I'll probably be live again tomorrow morning on my way to work. There's always a lot going on, a lot to discuss. And yeah, we'll do so as is needed. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? And don't forget, hold on. Robin Lynn Schultz says, you always talk about things of interest. with a very strong sense of personal freedoms, and that is always appreciated by this old truck driver. Thank you, young man. Robert and Schultz, no problem, man, because I truly and honestly believe in freedom. And when you truly honestly believe in freedom, very few people can relate to what's and know what's needed to achieve freedom. And they don't understand the dangers of freedom. You know what I'm saying? And while freedom might be dangerous, that peaceful slavery is more destructive. The peaceful slavery is more destructive than dangerous freedom. Remember that. Because it's like that peaceful slavery, it's like boiling a frog slow. Next thing you know, your ass is cooked. You know what I mean? And the GOLT. Oh yeah, the HALT is nationwide, yes. Yes, it applies to the CDC. I mean, not the CDC. It applies to OSHA nationwide. And OSHA said that they're gonna fight it. Good luck with that, because even the legislature can't, you know, they can't pass laws like that. You know, it's just not, they can't do that. Not that it stopped them from passing laws that are unconstitutional before. I'm just saying. Even Nancy Pelosi said that they don't have the power to issue mandates. And Joe Biden said he wasn't gonna do that either before he became president. Kamala Harris said it, they all said it. And they're all full of shit, obviously, because he's losing his patience. Fuck you, Joe B. Let's go, Brandon. It's all good, sunshine. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go ahead and accept these friend requests that I got, and I will holler at y'all later. And look, y'all see me, I'm marching, right? I'm marching toward better health. I'm marching toward a better life. And more importantly, I'm marching toward freedom. So let's make sure y'all do that. Let's keep marching forward toward freedom, people. Peace.